Minority MPs on Parliament's Appointments Committee have rejected 3 of President Akufo-Addo's nominees for ministerial appointment and deferred the approval of 5 others. According to the minority MPs who took the decision at a meeting Monday to vote on the nominees, the 3 failed to pass the NDC MPs test at the committee. The rejected 3 are Information Minister Designate Kojo Nkrumah, Fisheries and Aquaculture Minister Designate Hawa Kumsing, and Agriculture Minister Designate Dr. Owusu Akoto. Those whose approval has been deferred by the minority MPs include Health Minister Kweku Agyeman Menu, Communications and Digitalization Minister Designate Esla Usu-Ekufo, and Attorney General and Justice Minister Designate Godfred Dame. We'll bring you more details, but first, let's hear from Minority Chief Whip Muntaka Mubarak, who confirmed this exclusively to JoyNews.
After vetting the first 30 nominees, largely the ministers of state with just 1 regional minister, we are in agreement with 22. 22, we don't have any problem, so they are going by consensus. And then 3, we believe that there are major issues, so we believe we cannot support their nomination, and therefore they have to go to the floor for possible voting. And then we have 5 that we believe we need further and better particulars. If the further and better particulars are provided adequately, then obviously they will also have issues. But where those further and better particulars are not properly provided, then we may not be able to support their nominations.
But what are the major issues you'd say with these 3, for instance, that there should be a consensus, and the other 5?
Like I told you, that I'm not going to speak much on this, and I'm sure the report of the committee will be laid tomorrow in Parliament, and most likely be taken Wednesday or Thursday. And I'm sure all the details will come out.
Well, earlier we heard that it included the Health Minister Designate, the Information Minister Designate, and some others because of some documents that you had asked for them to be provided. Are these the names?
I'm not giving you any more details. I won't say yes, I won't say no. I'm sure when the details are out, you get to know who are the 3 who are going to the floor for them to be voted upon, and then you get to know who are the 5 that we expect more from them.
Okay, but generally though, what are your thoughts overall? What will be your assessment of the 30 that you've vetted so far?
Well, let me say that yes, the vetting this time has been more intense. I mean, thanks to the general public and our teamwork, trying to delve more, and public providing more information. Maybe because this time they believe the nature of the parliament is such that there's possibility of truly holding people accountable. So maybe the public has been more forthcoming with information. It is our only hope that this government, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with the Supreme Court ruling. The government, if the Supreme Court gives them the go-ahead to continue as a government, will be more responsible. I mean, we will also hold them more accountable. One thing that we keep promising, we will not be reckless, we'll be responsible, we'll act in the best national interest. At all points, we are guided by the national interest, we are guided by our oath, and we will do the very best that we can to continue to make them proud. But obviously, we are not going to be reckless in the things that we have to do.
So what are the issues that have informed the minority's decision on the 8 ministers designates whose nominations have now become a subject of debate? My colleague Wisting Amwa joins us with additional details we have picked up from our sources at the Appointments Committee. Thank you very much, Wisting. So, Wisting, let's start with the Information Minister and Information Minister Designate Kojo Nkrumah. I recall the committee quizzed him on his links with financial organization Oval Market Finance and Media Organization MX24. Let's listen to what he said first.
Managing Director, West Brownstone Capital. Is that the name? An earlier answer, you said that they didn't have any liability, outstanding liability with Oval Microfinance.
No.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Is that for a fact? Because you're under oath.
Yes.
Well, there's information from Bank of Ghana that indicated that they have their outstanding of 212,751 point something. Is it accurate?
No, I would contest that, and I would believe that if this is information that you desire to verify, I'm sure the Bank of Ghana can verify whether this is true or not.
But you are also a majority shareholder in the OVA Microfinance.
Yes, that's what I referred to. My company was a shareholder in it.
And did you borrow from Unibank?
Did I do what?
Yes, the operations of the OVA Microfinance.
Did I borrow from OVA?
The OVA Microfinance borrow or took any loan from Unibank or Unisecurity?
I would not have the full details on who they took a loan from.
But you are 82% shareholder in there, right?
Yes, but there are directors and managers who run the organization, leader.
And if you, before that company could take a loan, obviously the directors will have to be in the loan. And you are a director.
No, shareholder.
You are a shareholder. And you are the lion shareholder because 82%. And you think that if they are going for a loan, you will not be in the loan?
Leader, in their ordinary line of business, they used to raise liabilities to create assets. They would not come back to me on every single one of those.
Are you aware that they have defaulted in payment of their loan that they took from Unibank, Unisecurity?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Who is Kwame Okonkrumah, the chairman of OVA Microfinance?
That's my father. That's my father.
Oh, that's your father. Do you own any media house in Ghana?
Yes, I do.
What's the name?
I own ABC Communications Limited, or I'm a shareholder in ABC Communications Limited that operates a radio station in Achimota.
What of MX24?
MX24. That will be a television station.
Yeah, is it yours or do you have a share in it?
No, I do not have shares in it.
Did you apply in last parliament for members holding profits?
Yes, I did. And was certified as such.
So you did, just to be sure that you can carry out your business activities.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Nominee, Mr. Chairman, so in that case, you are both a policy maker and you oversight, and you are also a participant in the media arena.
When you say participant, you mean as a shareholder?
Yes.
Well, yes, to that extent, yes, I'm a shareholder.
So you are both a policy maker and somebody who oversights, and you also a participant.
Well, as I've explained, to the extent that I'm a shareholder, I'm one of the shareholders, you can say so.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to find out the television station, when was the frequency issued? When was the frequency issued? The frequency for the television MX24 issue?
I would not know.
But is it when you were Minister for Communication, Minister for Information?
I would not know. I am not a shareholder of that company. I would not know.
You are not a shareholder in the MX24?
No.
Well, Winston Ama joins me now. Winston, apparently the minority MPs on the Appointments Committee had some issues with the responses that the Information Minister designate gave. What are these issues they have? Hello, Winston, if you can hear me, what are the issues that the minority MPs have?
According to the committee now...
Yeah, go ahead, Winston.
Yes, I can hear you. So if you can hear me now, the committee's raised issues about
All right, it appears, Winston, we're having some challenges with the connection to Winston now. But Winston, if you can hear me, I'd want you to give us what the minority has had to say about the responses given by the Information Minister designate. All right, whilst we try to get the connection to Winston right, let's move on to some of the other nominees, ministerial nominees that the MPs, the minority MPs on Parliament's Appointment Committee have had issues with. Let's hear from. Let's get onto the phone rather and get to speak with Winston Amma. So Winston, we're having some challenges with the connection, the Zoom connection to you. So you tell us, what are the issues that the minority has regarding the ministerial nominees, particularly Information Minister Designate Kojo Nkrumah?
Well, so according to the minority, now they say that the Information Minister Designate was not truthful with his links to MX24, that's the television station. And they're also not convinced about his answers concerning oval market finance. And they're also not happy. Then they also say that their own checks, there's evidence of related party borrowings when it comes to oval marketing finance. And so based on all these issues, they say that they've rejected his nomination as Minister of Information Designate.
All right, so you stay on the line for us, Winston. Let's get to the Agric Minister Designate, Dr. Usu Efrie, who was praised by Muntaka Mubarak on the cancellation of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the horticultural contract. We'll bring that to you, but there's also the Minister of Health Designate, Ukwajiman Menu. Let's hear what the quiz, how he was quizzed when he appeared for vetting.
By the Presidential Task Force on COVID.
Yes, I did say so.
Are you a member of the Presidential Task Force on COVID?
Yes.
So if you are a member of the Presidential Task Force and you were going through this contract, are you saying that you didn't know the details of the contract that was being given out or that was being done?
Honorable Chair, the Presidential Task Force was actually started by me from the ministry, the early stages of the onslaught. I said I was creating an interministerial committee, but then the first two meetings I called, my colleagues wouldn't come. So I told the president that he should take over that interministerial committee to enable us engage, and that created the Presidential Task Force. Okay. Then the task force, a very large thing.
I don't dispute that. I mean, whilst the task force was going to embark on an health project,
we had separate functions for separate groupings and committees within the task force.
And are you telling this committee?
And there was created a
Minister, if you let us have a conversation that those listening to us and we in the committee can follow, it will be useful. And you are telling this committee that as a Minister for Health then, and they were procuring a health service at the airport, you were not in the known.
Yes.
Right, so that was Health Minister Designate, Ukwajiman Menu, who the minority, they didn't reject his approval or reject his appointment. They're deferring his appointment. He's one of the 5 whose appointment has been deferred. Winston, what are the issues they have with the Health Minister Designate?
Well, so according to the minority, now their issues with him has to do with the Frontiers deal or agreement, and so they are holding him responsible for the Frontiers agreement, and that must reappear before the House to answer a few questions on it.
All right, so there were 4 others whose nomination have been deferred. Or approval has been deferred. Now, let's get to a few of the others. There's also the Minister for Agriculture and Aquaculture, Hawa Kumsing, whose nomination or approval was actually rejected. Let's hear when he appeared before the committee, what the MPs had for him.
I am not a violent person, but I also want to use the opportunity to sympathize with the belief if the incident did happen. I was told of this incident 3 days after the Thanksgiving program that I have undertaken. And it was on social media that I saw this, that a gentleman was attacked. Those cannot be my tasks. I work with very faithful and dedicated people that accompany me to my my scene. If indeed this happened, of course, I don't see the reason why it should be attributed to me. I sympathize with him if that actually happened, but I cannot never be held responsible, and I never on any occasion roll my glass to look at a victim that has been beaten. That is not my nature. If I did come across such instances, what I would have done under normal circumstances is to stop it, irrespective of what might be happening. So I never roll my glass. I was not at the scene of the incident, but I saw this also in social media. And if it did happen, I sympathize with him. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any action you took when you saw it on social media?
I engaged, immediately called 3 of the guys that were following me, my security guys, and asked them. They said no, they are not responsible. And at that time, they have also not heard the news. So I was showing to them that this is what I've said. I tried to interrogate it, and I was told by them that they were not responsible and they know nothing about it.
Right, so that was Railways Minister Designate John Peter Amewu when he appeared before the Parliament's Appointments Committee. Winston, in his case, Winston Amwa, he wasn't rejected. He's one of those whose approval has been deferred. What are the issues that MPs have with him?
Well, so the concerns that the minority have with John Peter Amewu, one, they say his responses to the PDS saga issue were unsatisfactory, and thus would need clarity. They also say his denial of involvement in beating up of the bailiff in the Sal matter is another issue that they would need clarification, and thus must reappear before the committee for these issues to be clarified.
Also want to use.
All right, thank you very much, Winston. Am I bringing us those insights or the exclusive information we're getting from the minority side on the Appointments Committee in Parliament? So the news is that the minority MPs on the Appointments Committee of Parliament have rejected 3 of President Akufo-Addo's ministerial nominees. That's Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah, Minister-Designate Information, Hawa Kumsing, Minister-Designate for Fisheries and Aquaculture, and the Minister-Designate for Food and Agriculture, Owusu Efriye Akoto.